Well, hello and welcome back to Shane's Main Shop. Today we're going to talk about pellet stove issue and how to replace a motor. So basically what happened is my pellet stove went out, yet it was still full of pellets. And I noticed it wasn't feeding. I'm like, what's up with this? So I started investigating, and when I opened up the front door and turned it on just to see what was going on, this is a 2-auger system. The top motor intermittently comes on and drops pellets from the hopper into the secondary shaft, which is this lower motor in behind here, and this one runs continuously pushing the pellets out to the fire box. So with this one running intermittently, and you can set the settings on this one to how often you want pellets dropping in there, feeding this one, which continually keeps them pushed to the front of the pellet stove. And when I looked inside the pellet stove at the other end, I saw that the lower auger, which is the only one you can see on the other end, that lower auger was not turning at all, and that should be turning constantly. So when I realized that, I reached back to the back of the pellet stove here and realized this motor was hot, really hot. So something clearly was up with it. So today I ordered a new one. Well, I didn't order it today. I ordered it a week or so ago. And here it is, and we're going to go ahead and replace it, and we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, so first things first, there's a lot going on back here. It's not too difficult of repair, but you want to make sure, number one, you unplug the pellet stove. So make sure it is completely unplugged. And again, this video is, of course, for entertainment purposes only. Seek a professional when dealing with any type of electricity, stuff like that. In this particular case, there's very minimal tools to make this replacement if you're just changing out the motor. Number one, now you have the pellet stove unplugged. The first thing you're going to want to do is remove the 2 wires off of the motor. It's always a good idea to put them back. They're not color coded separately for this lower motor because it runs constantly, but we will make sure we put them back exactly on the new motor in the exact same position. So if you have to mark them with a piece of tape, then I would do that, or in my case, I'm just going to make sure they're clearly, the lower one is lower and the upper one is upper. Now, while I still have the camera in my hand, I'm going to show you the bolt that needs to be removed to take, or loosen up to take this motor off, because it's hard to see otherwise. If you're looking behind here, so you can see this is the bolt right here, and it's just a square head, and I'm gonna just back up so you can see where that's located. So here's your 2 motors. Each one of these has one of those bolts. If I go to the top here, you can see the top one, which is right there, and then of course I'm going to be doing the bottom one, which is right there. So I'm not sure I'll be able to get the camera in there while I'm doing this, but that's the one that needs to be removed. And to do that, you really only need, and you can get a wrench the right size, but if you have just a very small, this is a pretty small adjustable wrench, that's all you really need. I'll try and show you a little bit of it here. Again, I'm doing this one-handed and it's in behind. I'm actually can only see it through the camera myself right now because that's what I have in front of me. I gotta put it down. I just can't see what I'm doing, so bear with me for a second. Get that bolt to loosen up a little bit, and then you can kind of turn it by hand. You can see it's turning, and what that's going to do is loosen it from the shaft. You can see now it's just sliding right out. See, it's bolted on that flat side. You'll see that moment pull it out. I just want to have you see what's going on here. Just going to slide that right out, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So if you look at that shaft, it has a flat spot on it, and that's where you want that bolt to hit so it can't turn when it's running. Just a little tip for you here. It's a good idea just to turn the new motor shaft so it's in the same position as the old one, so the bolt's in a position where you can reach it. I might have to actually plug it in, turn on, and turn the motor until the shaft is in the correct position. So that's going to take me just a second to do that. Alright guys, as much as I don't want to show you this part, well, I already did what I did, but as much as I don't want to show you the outcome, I'm going to show you just so you can learn from my mistake. So what I did is I just set the motor up here, plugged it in, and then I plugged the pellet stove in so I could turn it on so I could get the shaft facing in the right direction. That's all well and good, but I forgot when you turn it on, everything comes on. It doesn't light or anything, so I didn't put any pellets in it, but the fan kicked on and it proceeded to blow all this soot out at me because everything's unhooked. And I made kind of a mess, and I got kind of soot floating around the house here a little bit too. So if you're going to do that, make sure your pellet stove is still hooked up to the flue and reaching behind. I unhooked this just to make the process easier and just never really gave it any thought. So hey, you know, these things happen. And the good news is I got the motor in the right position now, so we're going to go ahead and try and get this thing installed back in where it goes. But I'm going to go ahead, actually I can leave those wires hooked and see, hopefully, let me show you down below here now. That's where it goes. It slides in there, and then we will tighten that bolt right there back down onto the flat spot. Probably hard to see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm going to have to put the camera down, sorry. But basically what I'm going to do is make sure that it's lined up with the flat spot where it should be, and then I'm going to just tighten that up. So the motor's all installed. It's all nice and snug in there. The bolt is all tightened up on the flat spot of the shaft down there, which is kind of hard to see, but you can see right there, and that's where it is. So now what happened, the secondary problem that happened is when this motor stopped feeding, the pellets that this was feeding had nowhere to go. So this kept feeding, and it just basically crunched them all up and ground them up in here. So this motor is bound up. So I gotta go into the top of the pellet stove and clean this all out. And once I get that done, we can hook this thing back up and fire it up. But that, you guys all know how a pellet stove works, hopefully. So hopefully this helps you out. But if you have a motor that goes bad, that's as simple as it is to replace it. And this top motor is no different. And the motors are interchangeable. The part that tells it to stop and start as far as this motor is in the control panel over here. So if this motor were to die, you can order the exact same motor and it will run intermittently based on what the control tells it to do. So that's an important thing to know. You don't have to look for a special motor for the top one. So that's all there is to it. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this thing back together, get some heat coming back in the house, and of course, I gotta clean up this mess here. Thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. Please like, subscribe, comment, come back often for more videos. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.